Assalamualaikum and good day to all my panels and fellow friends. My name is Viva binti Amaran from AS239 and my supervisor is Dr. Ismaniza binti Ismail. Today, I will present about my final year project titled Exposure of Particulate Matter 2.5 among Hawkers in Session 7 Shah Alam. This is the outline of my presentations for today, ranging from Chapter 1 until Chapter 5. For background of my study, air pollution is a crucial issue, especially in our country Malaysia. This pollution can be labelled as hazardous to human health because of the contamination of air that contain various substances. For the study, only PM 2.5 will be focused on and was taken to be analysed. Based on a study conducted at Serdang, Selangor, motor vehicles have been classified as one of major sources of air pollution, especially in densely populated areas. Emission of vehicles will emit various pollutants, especially particulate. The smaller size of this particulate increase the possibility to enter human body compared to the larger particles. Particulate matter commonly lingers in the air by the wind speed and temperature, which may affect people in that particular area, such as construction workers, community, and especially roadside hawkers. Lastly, roadside hawkers in Malaysia are an occupational group at risk for continuous exposure to this air pollutant due to its location. The next one is problem statement. There are two main things that inspire me to do this study. Firstly, based on the Air Quality Index Selangor, Shah Alam is the top 10 most polluted with PM 2.5 city ranking. This situation is unhealthy for sensitive groups and required them to reduce outdoor activities. Secondly, the location chosen may have higher emission due to the busy residential area, education institution, and business activities, especially during the peak hours. We move to the next one. There are three objectives for this study. Firstly, I want to measure level of exposure to particulate matter 2.5 by conducting personal chemical exposure monitoring. Second one is to make correlation of humidity and temperature on PM 2.5 concentration. And the last one is to determine the significant difference of PM 2.5 concentration level in two different areas in Section 7 Shah Alam. Alright, move to the second part of this study, which is literature review. The first one is PM 2.5 and its health effect. According to previous study, eye is one of the organs that easily exposed to the environment. Particulate matter 2.5 might have a direct impact, and another study in China found that exposure to particulate matter may lead to the jeopardize and increase the risk of low birth weight. The second one is sources of PM 2.5. Based on the previous study, the road or outside area, major sources of this fine particle are exhaust of cars, trucks, buses, and off-road vehicles such as construction machinery, as well as other activities that involve the burning of fuels. The last one is standards and regulation of this PM 2.5. According to Section 15 of OSHA 1994 Act, as referred in the slide, this statement shows that even this particulate considered as outdoor contaminant under Control Malaysian Ambient Air Quality Standard 2013, hawkers still covered by Malaysian Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 OSHA, despite of its location of work and self-employed. These are the guidelines, regulation, and standards that I use for my study. For the next chapter is methodology. For the first method I use is personal chemical exposure monitoring that fully follow and guidance of NMM method 0500 that suggested from NIOSH. Before sampling, all the MCE filters paper were weighted and used for on-site monitoring. Before using the pump, the flow rate was adjusted at 1 liter per minute and attached to the hawkers after assemble the cassette and tubing. Partial period consecutive samples monitoring method was used in this study due to limited working hours of chosen hawkers. After sampling, the filters were weighted to obtain the result of particulates. The next method used is direct reading using air meter. There are 4 parameters measured in this method, which are temperature, humidity, PM 2.5 and PM 10. These are the instruments used in this study. For statistical tests, I use 2 methods, which are independent t-test and person correlation. For which is result and discussions. Here I show the calculations of airborne concentration and TWA of 8 hours as referred in the guideline. The result of personal chemical exposure monitoring indicate high exposure and exceeding the limit stated in the Schedule 1 of Use and Standard of Exposure of Chemical Hazardous to Health 2000 USAC regulations. The limit state that any concentration exceeding 0.3 mg over meter cube will categorize as hazardous for the person exposed. The next one is trend of humidity and temperature and PM10 of both location at Flat PKNS and Pusat Commercial Section 7. For Flat PKNS, highest humidity at the range 5 to 6 pm with 75% and higher temperature was shown during 3 to 5 pm at 35 Celsius. For Pusat Commercial, the last quarter of the measurement recorded the highest humidity at the range 5 to 6 pm with 60%. For temperature, the first half of the measurement recorded the highest temperature 33 Celsius 3 to 5 pm, while the temperature kept dropping at the end of the measurement. Humidity and particulate matter 10 show similar trends for both areas measured, while temperature kept decreasing in the evening. The next one is correlation between PM2.5 and humidity at PKNS Section 7. The correlation analysis for coefficient value of 0.918 indicates a very strong positive relationship between PM2.5 and humidity. It shows that as the humidity level increases, the concentration of PM2.5 also tends to increase. For temperature, the result interpreted a strong negative correlation between two variables. In this case, the coefficient value of negative 0.82 indicates a strong negative correlation. A negative correlation means that when temperature increases, PM2.5 tend to decrease. The next result is correlation at Pusat Commercial. The result obtained shows correlation with both PM2.5 and humidity with % correlation of 0.638. The result interpreted a moderate positive correlation between humidity and PM2.5 levels, means as humidity increases, the PM2.5 levels will more prone to increase. As for temperature, the result of % correlation between temperature and PM2.5 is negative 0.750, indicate that there is a strong negative correlation among hawkers in Pusat Commercial Section 7. Negative correlation means that when temperature increases, particulate matter PM2.5 tends to decrease. The last graph in this study is difference of particulate matter 2.5 in Flat PKNS and Pusat Commercial Section 7. In this measurement, the obtained p-value of 0.020 is less than 0.05, indicating statistical significance, and there is strong evidence to reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, based on the data analyzed, there is a strong evidence to suggest that there is a statistically significant difference in the levels of PM2.5 concentration between the two areas that being compared. Finally, the last part is recommendation and conclusion. Prolonged exposure to high concentrations of PM2.5 can lead to various health problems including lung disease, heart conditions, and even premature deaths. Wearing PPE can help hawkers protect their health by minimizing their exposure to these hazardous particles. This study also helps raise awareness among the hawkers and community about the health risks associated with exposure to high levels of PM2.5. It shows that hawkers by the roadside also can be affected by these particles along the hours of business operation. As for the conclusion, personnel monitoring measurements of the PM2.5 among 4 hawkers at PKNS Section 7 does exceed the permissible limit. Therefore, positive correlation was found between humidity and PM2.5 at both locations. Lastly, the significant difference between PKNS residential area and Pusat Commercial Section 7 shows significant in both areas where air quality that contain PM2.5 at PKNS residential area gave huge impact to the hawkers and community. This monitoring study is crucial in order to assist responsible parties to take all possible actions in ensuring the level of PM2.5 at PKNS residential area and Pusat Commercial Section 7 are controlled and always be the best place to live and learn. That's all from me. Thank you for your time and attentions.